Milk. What is milk? What is the production process of milk? What are the chemical and physical properties of milk? How milk is important in our daily life? All you are know that. Hello everyone, my name is Zani Parich and I am from Department of BS Chemistry. My resource person is Dr. Hamad Majid, and today I discuss in front of you all the characteristics and physical and chemical properties of milk. First, let's have a look to the basic introduction to milk. Milk is a whitish liquid containing proteins, fats, lactose, various vitamins and minerals that is produced by the mammary glands of all the mature females to nourish their young for a period beginning immediately after birth. Milk and any of the foods made from milk including butter, cheese, ice cream, yogurt, etc. are the products of milk. If we move to the general history of milk, humans first learned to consume the milk of other mammals regularly following the domestication of animals during the development of agriculture. This development occurred independently in several global locations. Like Southwest Asia, domestics dairy animals spread to Europe and South Asia. Here is a picture of German people drinking milk in Germany in 1932. The chemical composition of milk. Milk approximately contains 87% of water, approx 3.5% of proteins. The proteins are casein and whey, 3.5 to 3.7% approx fat, also contain carbohydrates in 4.9% quantity, also contain vitamins like vitamin B6, vitamin A and D, and also contain some minerals and enzymes. If we move to the journal table of milk, as milk contains 87% of water and 13% of other total solids. The other total solids include fat and solid non-fat. The fats are generally lipids like phospholipids, cholesterol, carotene, vitamins A, D, E and K. While the solid non-fats are lactose, nitrogen substance, mineral matter like non-protein and protein, pigments, dissolved gases, vitamin C and B complex, enzymes and etc. These are all the milk composition table. There are the different types and forms of milk which we use in our daily life. We also use pure milk in our daily life, but we also use milk in the form of raw milk, the whole milk, the dry milk, the evaporated milk, the condensed milk, the fortified milk, the flavored milk, the organic milk, and the skim milk. We discuss all these types further one by one. First, raw milk. Raw milk is an unpasteurized milk which we get straight from the cow. Then whole milk. The whole milk are in container, also called packaged milk, milk from non-constituent removed. Then dry milk. This milk we get in the form of powder packed. This is a dehydrated milk from which 95% of water is removed. The next form of milk is evaporated milk. The evaporated milk is also a dehydrated milk in which 60% of water is removed. So, it's a little bit liquid. Condensed milk. Condensed milk is basically the evaporated milk from which 60% of water is removed, but in condensed milk we also added sugar. Then fortified milk. Fortified milk is through the process of fortification because the milk enriched with one or more nutrients. These nutrients are commonly vitamin A and vitamin D. Then flavored milk. The flavored milk is a sweetened drink made with the milk, sugar, coloring and artificial flavoring added to it. The flavored milk we generally drink is chocolate milk or other milkshakes. The organic milk. Milk comes from a cow. Organic milk is produced by dairy farmers that use only organic fertilizer and organic pesticides, and their cows are not given supplemental hormones. Then skim milk. Milk from which all the cream has been removed. Skim milk people mostly use in their dieting period. The skim milk has a fat content of between 0.1 to 0.3%, while the other raw milk, whole milk, or the other organic milk has a fat quantity of 3.5 to 3.7%. Now, various products of milk. These products include fermented or non-fermented. First, we discuss the fermented milk products. The first fermented milk products we discuss is butter. Butter is a concentrated form of fluid milk produced through churning of cream. It is made from sweet or sour cream. Milk is churned to form butter and a watery buttermilk. Butter may have a yellow color due to the fat, soluble animal pigment, carotene or an additive. The other fermented milk product is ghee. It is a type of clarified butter. It is prepared by simmering butter and removing the residue. The texture, color and taste of ghee depend on the quality of the butter and the duration of the boiling. Butter with its milk solids removed, resulting in rich flavor and high smoke point. Then buttermilk. It is a liquid left behind after churning butter out of cream. It is beneficial to health as it contains probiotic microbes. Also, fat content of buttermilk is far lower than buttermilk or curd. The other fermented milk product is yogurt. Yogurt is prepared by cooling boiled milk to body temperature and adding 5 to 10% starter. After 6 to 8 hours, an acidity is formed which coagulates the casein and yogurt is packed. Whole low-fat, skim milks, even creams can be used to make yogurt. In production of yogurt, a mixed culture of Streptococcus thermophilus, Lactobacillus acidophilus is usually added to the pasteurized milk and indicated at 42 to 46 degrees Celsius temperature. Yogurt is an excellent source of calcium while also providing nutrients like phosphorus and riboflavin. Yogurt also low cholesterol, low fat and low sodium. Then cheese. Cheese is also a fermented milk product. Cheese may be most popular fermented milk product. Cheese is produced throughout the world in wide range areas in different flavors, textures and forms. Then we move to the non-fermented milk products. The first non-fermented milk product to discuss is cream. Cream is the high-fat component separated from the whole milk as a result of the creaming process. It has a higher proportion of fat droplets to the milk than regular fluid milk. Due to these high fat droplets, the milk than regular fluid milk content of the cream compared to the milk. Some yellow, fat-soluble pigments may be apparent on it. The other non-fermented milk product is khoya. Khoya is a dehydrated milk product, semi-solid obtained from milk by evaporating in open pan with continuous stirring in circular motion. Now we move further to the milk processing. Most milk undergoes processing before you buy it at the store. The three primary steps include pasteurization, homogenization, and fortification. Pasteurization. Pasteurization heats the milk to destroy harmful microorganisms and prolong shelf life. Normal pasteurization keeps milk safer while maintaining its valuable nutrients. Ultra-high temperature UHT milk is pasteurized at a much higher temperature to make it sterile. UHT milk is then packed into the special containers that keep it safe without requiring refrigeration. Then homogenization. After pasteurization, milk undergoes homogenization to prevent the separation of the milk fat from the fluid milk. Homogenization creates a smooth uniform texture. The last step of milk processing is fortification. This step is included in fortified milk. Finally, milk is fortified to increase its nutrition value or the replace of nutrients lost during the processing. Vitamin A and D is added to the most milk. Now we discuss the allergy-related effects of milk. As milk has the contact of carbohydrates like lactose, Because of lactose intolerance, the inability of digest lactose, a sugar found in milk, and to a lesser extent dairy products, causing side effects. Also, few microorganisms which we found in milk in the research of milk. These four microorganisms include Streptococcus lactis, Achromobacter, Bacillus subtilis, coliform bacteria. Now, after discussing all the chemical properties of milk, we discuss some physical properties of milk. The physical properties of milk include acidity, viscosity, freezing point, and boiling point. Acidity. Fresh milk has pH is 6.5 to 6.7 at 25 degrees Celsius temperature. The viscosity of milks depend on the amount of fat, size of fat, globules, and extent of clustering of globules. Homogenization and aging increase the viscosity. Freezing point of milk is minus 0.55 degrees Celsius. Addition of 1% of water to milk decrease the freezing point by minus 0.0055 degrees Celsius. As milk contains 87% of water, so the boiling point of milk is 100.2 degrees Celsius, which is near to the boiling point of water. Now move further to the applications of milk in our daily life. Are the most important applications of milk. The bone health. Milk and dairy products are the providers of calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, and protein, which are all essential for the healthy bone growth and development. Adequate consumption of milk and dairy from early childhood and throughout life can help to make the bones strong and protect them against diseases like osteoporosis in later life. The next application is teeth health. The amounts of calcium and phosphorus in milk dairy products are also beneficial for the development and maintenance of the healthy teeth. The most abundant protein in milk is casein and is protective as it forms a thin film on the enamel surface which prevents loss of calcium and phosphate from the enamel when the teeth are exposed to acids in the mouth. Studies have suggested that milk also reduces the effects of corrugated foods on the teeth when consumed together with them in the diet. Then we discuss the relation between the milk and the blood pressure. An increasing number of studies suggest that consuming 3 portions of dairy each day, along with the 5 portions of fruit and vegetables, as part of a low-salt diet can reduce high blood pressure in both adults and children. Now we discuss the milk and the cardiovascular disease. Several studies have linked milk and dairy consumption with a reduced risk of cardiovascular disease. A recent study found that those who drank the most milk had fewer heart attacks than those who had the little or no milk in their diets. This connection could be due to the many factors in milk, but epidemiologically, studies have shown that higher intakes of calcium in particular are linked to a reduced risk of cardiovascular disease. To conclude, this milk and its products are useful for humans and can be served as a basic requirement for life. So I just suggest all of you to drink at least 1 cup or 1 glass of milk in a day so that our bones will be healthy, our teeth will be strong, the fever, heart attack we got, and our blood pressure will be normal. Thank you so much. If you have any question regarding to this topic, you can ask me in comment section. Allah Hafiz.